Welcome, everybody. I'm Creatorius Rex. You're back for the Niftorious Show. And today we have another edition of our founders interviews. And I have a really great guest today. I'll bring him up on stage. Artifact, welcome to the
Hello,
Niftorious Show.
hello. Hi.
So,
Very nice to be here. Very nice to be here.
I'm glad to have you. You and I are NFT Twitter friends.
Oh, yeah.
Got to know each other there. It's a good community. But let's start out. Let's start out with what you're doing. So, a lot of times we're talking with people who are running NFT projects. They're doing a big launch coming up, or we're talking about technical aspects. Like we got some things coming up on taxation and insurance. You have a different angle here, so I want to talk a little bit about that. So why don't you tell people what you're doing at Artifact and why it's important?
Yeah, I mean, so essentially, the idea came from me buying these expensive NFTs and not having a place to display them. There was displays that, maybe you can hang up in your house, maybe you can hang up here and there, but not anything that was prominent. Maybe if you're at a convention, maybe if you are, just out and about. So that's where the idea came from. So it's going to be a little keychain. 2.4 inches to 2.8 inches. There's going to be two sizes. And, essentially it's going to be where you buy the NFT and then, you're going to be receiving something physical. So that's, I think, where the difference comes in a little bit.
So are you looking to work with projects that will distribute the keychains to all the holders, or do you think they're going to put it up in the merch store? How are you assuming this will happen?
We're gonna be collaborating with people, with projects and stuff. I think maybe you might have seen that we have Spookies, that collaborated with us. We have a couple other people too that we're gonna be collaborating with. It's probably gonna be like special edition sort of keychains, but in terms of the distribution, it's going to be a membership pass, and it's going to be maybe similar to, I think there's some other stuff where it was like a meta key and stuff like that, where we'll give you access to a marketplace, and that marketplace is going to be connected to your keychain, and it's going to bring all your galleries together, so you can be on Rarible, OpenSea, all these different galleries, and it's going to be on one place.
So all galleries. So you're talking all galleries on OpenSea or excuse me, on Ethereum, or are you going to support other chains as well?
It's going to support other chains. Yeah.
That's good. And are you launching with just Ethereum, or are you launching with multiple chains?
I'm working on that right now. I've gotten some feedback, where people are like, oh, the gas fees are too high. Really, for me personally, Ethereum gas fees are way too high. It's ridiculous, but it's the most popular.
Yeah.
So you got to go with what's the most popular, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think like new collectors, for the most part, have been showing that they don't care. And I mean, people complain about it, but then they just sort of live with it. And so maybe they care, but not enough to move somewhere else. But let's talk about it. But the Artifact. So this keychain, so it's got a small screen on it. And I think there's two different sizes. Is that correct?
Yep. 2.4 and 2.8.
Okay. Now. Is that inches?
Inches, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Not centimeters.
Yeah, I thought that would be pretty small. So, but you never know. I'm looking at the video, and there's not like a coin next to it, so I'm not really sure how big it is. So the idea there is that are the users going to just load their NFTs on there? What is it? How do they get onto it, and how do they interact with that keychain?
So there's two parts to the NFT. There's the physical part that you take receipt of, and then there's the marketplace aspect of it, where the NFT gives you access to this marketplace. So there you're gonna have your profile. Your profile is gonna connect to your various wallets, and it's gonna be verifying what you have in your wallet. And then from there, it's gonna connect to the keychain, and that's how they're gonna interact. You know, I'm gonna have an app and everything like that. You know, through your phone, of course.
And so, are you? I think I saw ports on it. So, is it like a USB-C connection?
Yeah, but that's for the charging.
Oh, that's just for charging. Okay, got it. So,
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to get your NFTs on the device for display?
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, the keychain is going to be connected to an app that's on your phone.
So it's a Bluetooth connection to the phone?
It's a Bluetooth connection, yep, to the
Okay.
phone.
So you just actually, this is more intricate than I thought it was because I didn't know you were doing verification. So
Yeah, I mean, you have to, right? Because I mean, if not, then what's the point of having an NFT
I
on your keychain?
I agree. I would assume that a lot of people are doing this where you could just basically put a JPEG or GIF on the device and
Yeah,
then they would just display it and try to do their own flex and actually out in the world it'd be harder for people to verify. But so that's maybe another benefit of the Artifact brand is that if people see someone's keychain with Artifact, they'll know that it's verified.
exactly.
Okay, so how often does this update? Because I'm really interested in this now that it's connected to the wallet. So if if I buy a new NFT, do I just have to open the app and then it automatically syncs and then my new NFTs are available? Or and then the same question is if I sell one, like how does it know
sell one?
take it out?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. So it's constantly gonna be updating your wallet, every time that you log in. So if you no longer have an NFT, it's not gonna be able to display.
All right. And so we have an NFT here. I believe you support both JPEG and GIF, correct?
And MP4s, yeah.
And MP4s. Okay, so, but is there a speaker? Will there be sound?
No sound to begin with. I'm gonna see. I mean, no one has really. I haven't really seen a lot of NFTs with sound. I've seen some, but not a lot.
Yeah, they're becoming more common, but yes, they're not a lot. I think that's fair. But this is really for display purposes, and it's actually a richer display than what you see if you just pull it up in your wallet because basically you just have the GIF there, or you just have the JPEG there. You don't if it's got more action than that. Plus, it's not like an easy way to display. So, how will I, as an Artifact user, select what I want to be shown on there? Because I assume that I don't have to show all my NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick and choose what you want to display, when you want to display it. I'm still kind of working on that particular aspect of it in the marketplace. Because I also want to do emergency documents. That was something really important for me. Having the utility of displaying utility documents. I think that will open up, some of the healthcare sort of NFTs that I think maybe might be coming in the future, where, you have, sensitive information that maybe you might want to show someone if there was an emergency, maybe you can't communicate. And, it'll be really easy where, there's going to be a QR code on the back of the device, and you'll be able to scan that, so it's regardless of battery life. You'll be able to scan that, and if you're turned on to maybe the emergency documents, maybe you're allergic to peanuts or something, you're nonverbal, and maybe I have a cousin that's nonverbal autistic, and he has a little piece of paper that says what to do, if he's in an emergency, and it's super easy to lose.
Sure.
And I mean, it's opening up that healthcare aspect, I think.
I think it's an interesting feature. This feature, this is not a feature that I was aware of. Have you announced that yet? Because I didn't. I don't think I said. Okay,
I did on the last email. Actually, are you on the email list?
Maybe I'm not on the email list, or maybe I didn't open it. But I think I am on the email list. Maybe I just didn't open it.
Yeah. Second email.
Great. Okay, so that's really interesting. What's the feedback been so far from the community based on that idea?
They like that. I mean, I think that, I kind of shared the story of my little cousin, and they liked that. They thought that it was pretty cool, and I think that maybe, because I haven't really mentioned it too much,
Yeah.
I think that maybe in the future, you know, as we start seeing these NFTs in the healthcare industry, I think that that's going to be really important.
What are these NFTs in the healthcare industry? What are you expecting to see there?
I'm expecting to see worldwide sharing of important documents, you know, through multiple providers, you know, whether it be your, you know, your I don't know, heart doctor, your fucking, you know, whatever doctor, all of it in one place. And you have all your documents in one place.
So
you can go
basically,
worldwide with them.
Each one, like you could have a separate NFT.
Mm-hmm.
There could be an NFT, which is basically just medical, like some broad roll up
Mm-hmm.
of summary medical record. There could be
Yeah.
separate NFTs about specific conditions that you have.
Yeah.
And because it's in your wallet, it would be easy for you to transfer anywhere you want. And then the really interesting thing here is you own that. The doctors, the insurance company don't own that record.
Exactly. And it's your information, so you should own it, right?
Well, you should, but the laws and regulations are set up to prohibit us from owning it. They don't want us to own it because they want to keep control of healthcare.
Exactly.
And a lot of it's much of that is a legacy of the way the healthcare system and professional licensing came up in order to be able to protect their monopoly on healthcare. Yeah.
So, you know, I think it goes into that conversation of decentralization of information, you know. Also this whole vaccination card stuff. I'm going to New York, NFT NYC in New York. You know, I'm going to be carrying around my vaccination card. Very easy to lose, you know. I mean, for those that are vaccinated and for those that want to provide proof, you know, it's very easy for you to, you know, scan your little keychain and, you know, have it right there.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so this is a really interesting angle. So, well, let's get back to the display of the NFTs. So you wanted to, this is great. You solved the problem that you wanted to solve. So you bought a bunch of NFTs. You wanted to be able to display them in a way that's easier than sort of open up the wallet, show, you know, flipping through to it. Now, just let's talk about the functionality. So you're working through this idea of what's displayed. So you can, I guess you'll probably just have a list of all the things. You can just, you know, tap on them. There'll be a little check mark, and those will be the ones you display. So I assume you've got some setup where it'll rotate. You know, if you've got multiple NFTs in there, it'll just sort of go through them every few seconds.
Slideshow kind of thing, yeah.
Okay. So you've got a slideshow, or you can
sort of like an Apple Watch. You know, I mean, I'm still kind of testing. I'm testing what looks good. But it's going to be most similar to an Apple Watch in terms of display.
Okay. And then what is it mostly? Is it mostly asleep, so you're not draining the battery with the screen, and so then you have to like tap it to wake it up, or is it usually on because it's not that much power drain?
It's usually on. Yeah, it's usually on.
How long are you expecting the battery to last?
I'm expecting it to last 6 to 8 hours. That's how long I'm expecting it to last. That's how long the prototypes are lasting.
Got it. And is it the same battery in both sizes, or do you have a larger battery in the larger design?
Yeah, larger battery in the larger design.
Got it.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, so 6 to 8 hours. So the idea there is you would certainly charge it every day if you're carrying it around with you.
Yeah.
Are you expecting people to have these with them all the time, or is this something you think they'll just have for certain types of occasions?
I think it's an accessory. You know, I think it's whenever you want to wear it. I think that, you know, just like any other accessory, you know, I have this here.
Right.
This is a little, you know, Louis Vuitton. This is kind of where the original idea came from for like a keychain. You know, and I wear it sometimes. You know, I think this is much more of a talking point, right?
Right. Yeah.
If you're gonna go to a convention or if you're gonna go somewhere, but you can wear it anytime, really. I mean, I think they will wear it more when they know that there's gonna be people around that know what's on their keychain. You know,
right. And there's this. You can wear logo wear, right? If you want to sort of flex or just like Yeah, and flex is probably unfair because that's one of the ways people use it. But the other big model is like an affinity model, right? It's just like I'm
Right.
showing that I like this thing, I'm part of this group,
Yeah.
and then you're hoping that maybe other people will either ask you about it, or maybe even better, someone will come up and say, "Oh yeah, I'm in Robotos or Bored Ape too."
Yeah, that's like the main idea behind it. You know, I kind of wanted people to be able to connect very easily. Another thing I don't think we've touched on is advertising on the keychain.
Okay.
Which is you know, when you're, if let's say you're an artist with a new project and you see an influencer with the keychain, oh, I'll make a special NFT for you, and you know, I want you to wear it, and you're gonna get this badge that you wear, and it's verification, sort of like a POAP. I'm not sure if you're familiar with POAP, the proof of attendance.
Mm-hmm.
This is like proof of advertisement or proof of display.
Right.
And
yep.
I'm actually working on that, and this is the first time that I am mentioning this. I'm actually working on that as sort of a proof of attendance protocol, like similar, where you're going to get a badge, you know, to say that you were one of the first to display this project or advertise this project.
Oh, right. So it's like in Product Hunt, you might be listed as the person who hunted a project and listed it for the community. That's really interesting. So in this case, then you're not talking about advertising. You're not pushing advertising to people's keychains. In this case, it's people are sort of opting in to be ambassadors, influencers to promote this new project.
Yeah.
That's
a big thing.
It's a great idea.
Thing.
Yeah, particularly if you can get significant adoption. I mean, you get a few million people out there. It's not that much if they're just all separate, but particularly if they're coming together around specific activities, you could just have dozens and dozens, like everywhere you look, you know, one of these things showing up. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I figured because there's dozens and dozens of projects coming out, you know, you kind of got to differentiate between what's good and what's going to be popular, between what's maybe not getting as much traction. You know, if you're seeing, because you're going to have a profile, which is Artifact Marketplace. You know, it's not going to only be where, you know, you're going to see it on the keychain. You're going to be able to see what people have worn on their keychain and what they're wearing now.
Oh, right.
You know, so it's like, it's kind of a social media sort of aspect to it. You know, because it can't just only be what's going on, bro. Ping pong in a minute. Yeah, it's not only gonna be, you know, I see this keychain, you know, somewhere, someone that I walk past on the street or something. It's gonna be, you know, this is linked to my social media. I've been displaying this project for a while, you know.
Right, and you're not limited to one like you are on most of the social media platforms. Like I noticed you just changed yours in the last day or so. In fact, what is that you just put up there?
That is what's it called? Superlative.
Yeah, Superlative Secret Society. That's what I thought it was.
Superlative. Yeah.
Yeah, I like. Cool. Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah. I spent some money on that one.
I was gonna say, I love the hair on that one.
Yeah. I got one of the rarer ones, and it has like a little companion beside it too.
Yeah, right over the side. That one's pretty amazing. So okay, so let's talk about this. So you've got these two devices. You've got the marketplace. The marketplace is going to run through the mobile app, right? Or is it going to you're going to have a website too, or just mobile app?
Mobile app.
Okay.
And a website probably, but mainly mobile app.
Mainly mobile app. Okay. So you're going to go in. You'll be able to connect your wallet. You'll be able to select some different parameters, and then by Bluetooth, it'll connect to the device, and you can display it. How much is this going to cost?
I haven't released the pricing yet. Let's just say it's about your average minting price.
So between $100 and $200. US.
Between 0.05 Ethereum to 0.09 Ethereum.
Okay. Got it. Fair enough.
I don't know if you've minted you know, I mean, these projects, when they mint, and it's gonna be a minting, just like any other project. You know what I mean? Where, you know, you're gonna mint, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna do the pre-sale very limited at first.
Ah,
Um, I'm gonna do it very extremely limited.
like what's
Just
extremely
because
limited? Like 500, 1,000,
like like 2,000,
2,000. Okay.
like 2,000. Yeah,
So
extremely
2,000. So
limited from.
I'm gonna acquire this through a mint.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's gonna be a mint process through my website. You know, I'm gonna be. I haven't really, you know, talked about the minting process just yet.
Yeah.
It's gonna be next month, maybe even December. Just depends on a lot of stuff. But before the end of the year, certainly. And you know, it's gonna be a minting process where you're gonna be able to mint. I think max is 50. Yeah, 50 of them. And you know, if you get multiple of them, you know, the people that missed out and they kind of want them, it creates a secondary market. You know, because you haven't redeemed it yet. You know what I mean? So when you redeem it, of course, it's not going to be available for a secondary market. But
Right.
before you redeem it, it'll be available for a secondary market because another person can buy it and you know, utilize it again.
So, okay. So this is great. So you're gonna mint these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then when are they going to ship? So somehow they're going to mint them, they're going to redeem it,
Mm-hmm.
which they have to give shipping data and everything
Mm-hmm.
like that. How long before these will ship to consumers after they purchase them?
You know, I'm gonna announce that after the mint is done, but you know, expect some months. You know, in a manufacturing process, you know, you're kind of going through that phase of manufacturing of, you know, making sure the prototype is all set because I'm not gonna send something and then it actually doesn't work or the quality is not so good. So it has to pass through a quality control phase, you know. Um, but I'm doing the pre-sale to kind of validate the demand of it.
Sure. Just like a
You know what I
Kickstarter
mean?
project.
Just like a Kickstarter project, and maybe this might um, give an example to people, maybe as an alternative to Kickstarter, because Kickstarter takes a whole shitload of fees,
Yes.
and you know, I mean, it's crypto. You know, it's the new thing. People want to be able to buy with crypto. You got to show people that crypto, NFTs, and physical assets can come together.
Yeah.
You know, and they can be in one.
Okay. So fair enough that it'd probably be spring of next year that these will arrive in the hands of your initial minters.
Spring to summer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do
fair
you have
enough.
do you have a prototype now?
No, I mean, no. I was just in North Carolina because I actually partnered with a global manufacturer.
Uh-huh.
You know, I partnered with the professionals because you know, I'm not a crazy electrical engineer. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And they're helping me with the patent process. They're helping me with, you know, develop the intellectual property. They're helping me with, you know, a whole bunch of sourcing. They're
Yeah,
going to
sure.
help me with fulfillment. It's really good to have a global partner. It's really good to have people that have done this before
Yeah.
that you can partner with and, you know, basically just kind of have everything in house. You have a team, you know. Um, so yeah, I was just in North Carolina with them. They're painting it right now. They're painting it, and they're gonna have it for me for NFT NYC.
Oh, very cool. So they're painting it
Mm-hmm.
being they're basically creating a little mock-up for you that you can take.
Yeah, no. This is gonna be a full functioning prototype.
Oh, they're gonna have it. You just met with them and they're gonna have it in like 2 weeks.
Oh no, I've been working on this since
Ah, got it.
I've been working on this with them since I just met with them in person.
I see. You've been talking to them for a
Yeah,
while though. Got it.
I've been working on this for quite a while. Let me see, since June, I
Okay,
want to say.
so there's
Yeah,
one thing about the manufacturing process. When is the
yeah.
mobile app going to launch? Will that potentially launch sooner? Because you could
Oh yeah, for sure.
because there's a lot of I think what you're talking about, there might be even more value
Mm-hmm.
in the mobile app.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, the mobile app really, truly, the app that I'm going to use for the prototype is the prototype of the app. So the app is already like halfway done.
Got it.
In terms of maximum functionality. And I'll probably release that much before the delivery of the physical keychain. You know, I'm already kind of talking with my developers about doing something similar to POAP, where you get a badge when you advertise a project.
Well, maybe not just advertise a project. If you had location tracking, you could actually validate for real world things, right?
Yeah.
Type of thing where they can get a notification. I think you're here, or if you're coming here or something like that, and you show up at this place, you automatically get a POAP. For these IRL things that are happening, because right now most of POAP is this online aspect. NFT NYC is going to do it. I guess they'll just do it based on attendance or scan-ins at the door. But this is another way to do it. Yeah. Like everyone just shows up at a bar one night because they're part of the BAYC, and they get a POAP.
I mean, I think that POAP has that covered, right? I think POAP has that covered in terms of attendance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that like in terms of advertising, in terms of showing support, in terms of like, saying, oh, I discovered this. I was one of the first to discover this. I'm getting a badge for that.
Hey, here's a little idea for your requirements list. Could you separate the POAPs from the collectible NFTs?
Yeah. That's going to be the point. They're going to be badges.
Yeah, because it would be good for them to be elsewhere. Because like I know a lot of people are distributing these, and it's attending something versus collecting something is sort of a different concept to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't want to there's a bunch of stuff that we see like spam in our wallets now. It's just like trying to hide it and all these things. It would just be like, it'd be cool to have some organization function where you could say, and maybe even more than that as well. But that's one thing to think about.
Yeah.
I'm sure you thought about all these things.
Yeah. It's been a while. But people give me great ideas that I welcome them. I love that. This is something that I love about this project. It kind of sparks something in people's mind, and they start giving me ideas, and it starts a conversation, sparks a conversation. And that's when you have a good project, have a good idea, when it kind of sparks a dialogue, a narrative.
Yeah, I would like to. Will people be able to sign up for the app without having purchased one of the artifact NFTs?
That's a good question.
The answer should be yes.
I think that, I think that at first I want to have some kind of exclusivity for the people that have shown support in the beginning. And I want them to have first access for everything. I think eventually it'll be public. But I think at first I want to cater to the people that have shown support in the beginning, and I'm going to continue to cater to them. You know what I mean? Because when you're building a brand, the first supporters are the most important to the brand, to the company. I don't want it to just be public and anyone can come, and you know what I mean? I want
you could do an invite model.
Yeah.
So you give every NFT holder gets 10 invites or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be see, this is like viral marketing 101 right here, right now. We're doing this. So I'm really actually quite excited about the mobile app, in part because I know there's going to be a limited number of NFTs, but I can also see the signal that would give you if you're able to, let's say you mint 2,000 of them. People buy multiples. So you've got let's say on average, you've got, somewhere between 750 and 1,000. We'll just pick 1,000 people, 1,000 different wallets have minted. And then they're able to invite each 10 friends, but maybe that would be 10 friends based on the 2,000. So you could have as many as 20,000 people in the app. And then the people who don't have the NFTs, obviously you can separate the functionality. That's really easy to do. But the people who don't have the NFTs then could indicate to you that they're interested, that they want to buy one. And then you would have early signal on what your second offering should be. So you've got your Genesis mint. You can always treat those people better or differently or specially. Maybe that's a better way to say it. But then you have all these other people in there and say, geez, I want this too. And then you would have more confidence going to your second manufacturer. You might place your second manufacturing run before your first one even ships, because you've got 5,000 people already lined up for it.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great idea, brother. I mean, I think those are elements that I will include. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a flexible situation.
Got it.
It's a fluid situation.
Yeah. Well, if this were available now, I'd want to buy some right now, because we have a mint coming up in November, and I'd want it to be like a spiff for some people, just like a special drop, say, oh, these 25 wallets, you won raffle, you get these.
Oh
these
yeah.
Things. I think that could be just an awesome, just extra gift you could give to people.
Definitely. And it'll be awesome because, these people that are not into NFTs, maybe, a person that is into the NFTs can gift it with a preloaded NFT. Here's your first NFT.
Yeah, I love it. That's amazing. That's amazing. But this is not a cold storage wallet, people. Right?
No,
this is not that, but it's no, you don't have to worry about it. Hey, just like so these are mechanical devices, or electronic devices that they're in physical form. They're gonna break. People are gonna lose them. What happens? I'm SOL at that point, or
that's something I have not gotten down that line in terms of warranties. But I always, if people kind of wonder, I'm always kind of erring towards the Apple model, whereas a certain time period you're covered, and in certain things you're covered too. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm going with it. I haven't fleshed out a warranty model.
Yeah, RMA process, returns manufacturing authorization process. Something I've done a lot of in my career at one point or another. Really hard to do. One thing you might consider is replacements or repair, requiring them to actually send it to you. It's a really simple thing. Like Oakley did that with their sunglasses, and they had before they were purchased by Luxottica, they had just, I think, in the space, the best customer service. You just send it to them, they would just send it back fixed. Eventually they started charging you. At the beginning, they didn't even start charging you, which gives you a sense of what their margins were. But and then they started charging, and now it's like they don't have everything. It's a little harder because they run more like a cost-based business.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of familiar with warranty stuff with my other business. My trailer rental business, where I cover certain things and certain things I don't, and certain things that you need to purchase kind of an extended warranty.
Right.
So I'll definitely figure something out with this. I kind of have to see the situations that may arise.
Yeah, fair enough. Sounds really interesting. So when did you first get into collecting?
I first got into collecting with Gary Vaynerchuk's V-Friends.
Me too.
And I believe that was, you did?
Yeah.
Yep. So I actually minted on the first day.
I
got a lit lamb, and then I got a epic calm clam.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've sold the lit lamb for $50,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna keep the calm clam. What did you get?
So I got a prudent polar bear, faithful pheasant, and I got a. Oh, I think I had a lit lamb. That was my third one.
You had a lit lamb too?
Yeah, and my original plan was to buy two, but because of the way things were happening, sort of in the last couple of days, I wound up buying two at the same time because some of them were coming off the board quickly, and it looked like I'd failed, and so I just went to buy another one because there weren't that many left, and so then I wound up with two that I purchased. They just showed up in my wallet. I'm like, oh, okay, wasn't what I was planning on because I didn't really know. This was my first time. But I'm like, okay, I've got 3 days. And I'm like, oh, well, here's my strategy then. If this goes up, you know, once it goes up that I will have covered like all my costs, like for participating, I'll sell the first one. And then I'll just hold 2. And then what I did was, so that happened fairly soon. It sold it way too early, but who knows? You know, I didn't know. I don't know if anybody knew at that point how much did it go, but you know, it was well over what I paid for all 3, even with the insane gas fees we were paying. Because I think I spent like $2,000 in gas on those 3 transactions, maybe a little bit more.
Oh, really? So I probably for the lit lamb on the first day, because I bought on the first day. I didn't wait.
Yeah, that was not good.
Started coming out.
First day
I paid like 15,000 for the lit lamb when I could have gotten it for 5,000 3 days later, or you know, a week later. But then I got the calm clam and it was an epic, and I got it for 5,000, and that's right now it was worth like 100.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when that was a couple weeks in, and then when ETH crashed, the gift goats for like a very short period of time were available for like $12,000, $13,000.
I remember that.
Just like,
no, those are going to blow up.
What is going on? I'm trying to figure out where to get. I need to get some ETH, and then all of a sudden they were gone, like instantly.
Those are going to be worth some money.
Yeah,
I think when the first gift comes out, it's going to blow up.
I would guess. Okay, so you started with those, and then what'd you get to next? What was the next thing you bought?
I bought the Bored Ape immediately after.
Were you just like brilliant or just lucky?
I think I was just lucky. I was just, you know, again, what I did, it's the same thing that I did with superlative. If you're noticing what I'm doing, I'm seeing really my main indicator is what people on Twitter are changing their profile pictures to.
Yeah.
That's my main indicator. So I used that, and I saw the Bored Ape, and I'm like clicking these people's Twitters, and they are like creators, and they have companies, and they have this and that. I saw like a whole bunch of shitload of people. I thought that I was late. I thought that was super late. I got one in June, and it was $6,000.
Yeah.
And now you know where Bored Ape is. But I was super lucky. There was not any kind of you know, sophisticated
Did you just get one, or did you get multiple?
I got just one. I wish I got multiple.
Of course.
I thought 6,000 at the time was a fucking shitload, because I already had spent 18,000 on Gary V's the month before, and then now I'm spending another 6,000 for Bored Ape. You know what I mean? So I'm like, shit, like, you know, these things had no indication that they were gonna blow up at that time, because if they did, they would be much more expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great. Well, okay, so Superlative Secret Society is what you have now. I like that. I'm seeing a lot of creatures out there. Do you have a creature?
I wanted a creature. I don't have a creature. You know what I want? I want a Roboto.
Oh, you can go get the one that they're cheap compared to the other things you bought.
I know. I want a Roboto because I think actually today they're coming out with the pets, the robot pets.
Oh, that's right. I've got to go over there and look. So I have this many. Actually,
5.
There's
6.
Yep.
6 Robotos.
I love the Robotos.
Oh man,
probably my favorite project.
Get one. Really?
Yeah, and I got them really early. I missed the mint. I found out about them, I think, the day of the mint, or maybe the day after. And then I started picking them up. I worked in the AI industry and still do. And a lot of things we're doing are bots. It's one of the areas that we do. So I was like, oh, this is just like, these are my people, or at least these are representations of my people. So what I did, so people see me, Creatorius Rex, I have another account where I have a Roboto, and he's got the HAL eye in the middle, because HAL
that's cool.
Yeah, from 2001 Space Odyssey is
that's cool.
Highly relevant to the folks in my community. So yeah, I love the Robotos. Almost that's amazing. Awesome. Go buy one right now before you play ping pong. Or you know what you guys should do? Whoever wins, The other person has to buy them a Roboto.
Oh man, but this guy's not into NFTs. I wish there was more people that was into NFTs around here. I'm the only one.
All right, Artifacts. This has been fun. How can people find out more about your project? Where would you send them?
Follow me on Twitter at Artifact NFT, and sign up to the newsletter, artifactnft.io. Very easy process. You put in your email, your name. If you want, you can put in your Twitter profile so I know who you are. Maybe it might be, maybe there might be a giveaway. I'm not sure. I'm actually doing a giveaway this week of my extra Bored Ape Yacht Club hoodie. So people,
Nice.
Watch out for that. Yeah, I got an extra one. I don't really need it. And then I have some merch that I actually got today too. That's really cool. Really cool. It's my last video that I posted on Twitter.
Oh, I'm gonna go look at it. Yeah. I haven't seen that yet today.
Yeah.
All right. So so this is great. I think a lot of people might have just looked at this and said, "Oh, it's a keychain," and they're like, "Oh, that's I've seen that people have picture frames and things you can hang on the wall or put on your desk, and this is just a keychain." But I'm so glad that we caught up here because there's so much more involved. Whether the healthcare thing, which I hadn't known about, but the marketplace I think is really fascinating, and I can see building a really cool utility around this that people would want to associate with.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the main thing about NFTs, building utility into your project.
Absolutely. Okay, Niftorians, thanks for joining me. Thank you, Artifact, for joining us today. We'll put in the show notes, we'll put some links. And everyone, please come on back we've got several shows this week with additional founders. We'll do the news coming up. So Niftorious on YouTube, that's the place to find us. And you can find me on the Twitter at Creatorious Rex. Next time.